Hey there, my fellow bounty hunters, what's going on? Welcome to another episode of RobaFett, and welcome to my second Monday movie review. And actually, we're doing a Monday mini-series review of A Series of Unfortunate Events, the new Netflix mini-series that came out. I loved these books growing up. One of my teachers I remember in elementary school read them to the whole class, and we didn't read all the books, but we read the first, second, third, and the ninth book. We just skipped to the ninth book for some reason. I just loved this series because I always pictured how it would be in my head, and I didn't feel like the movie back in 2004 did it justice. And of course, if you're not familiar with it, basically A Series of Unfortunate Events follows the story of 3 orphans and all the terrible things that happen to them as they're passed from guardian to guardian to guardian after book after book after book. And this show does a very good job of capturing that. I'm going to keep this as spoiler-free as possible, so let's get into what is good about A Series of Unfortunate Events. One thing I think that this show does really well is they stay true to their source material. They use that to a T, and of course they do because this show is written by Daniel Handler, aka Lemony Snicket. That's the name he went under when he wrote the books back in 1999, I believe. So how can you go wrong if you have the author of the books actually writing the screenplays for the show? The overall tone of this show, just the narrative of it, everything is just so spot on. I really love it. It has this very surreal nature that just makes the show very unique. The director, Barry Sonnenfeld, apparently he was originally slated to make the movie back in 2004. You might know him from Men in Black and from The Addams Family. And what's actually funny, Patrick Warburton plays Lemony Snicket in this show. And I originally remember for the first time seeing him on screen in Men in Black 2. He's just in the beginning, but I've always just been a fan of him. He just has the best voice. I'm sure you guys know him from Family Guy or from my personal favorite, The Emperor's New Groove. Poison for Cusco. Cusco's poison. Right. You guys are kind of confusing me, so just be gone. Whatever. Unfortunately, something happened back in 2004, and Brad Silberling, I don't know if I'm saying that right, took over, and I don't know, I just don't think that he went the best route with the movie. I can't ever fault Jim Carrey. He always goes all out in his roles, but I didn't feel like he captured Count Olaf quite the right way. They tried to jam-pack 3 books into one movie, and it really, in my opinion, just didn't work out very well. I'm not saying that movie was horrible. In fact, it's been so long since I've seen it that I'd have to go back and rewatch it because I think when I saw it was back in 2004. But I honestly felt after watching it that it wasn't something worth revisiting, so I've only seen it once. Although I do remember Jim Carrey's T-Rex scene, which was pretty funny. So let's get into the characters. Like I said, Patrick Warburton playing Lemony Snicket. Oh my god, his deadpan, straight-on narrative of this is just so great. He's the perfect choice. Nobody else could do better than he does narrating this. I mean, maybe James Earl Jones, or I'm sure there's, but what I'm saying is that he is just great, and I think he's really great in front of the camera. I'm surprised he's usually behind the camera doing voiceovers. I think it would be really great for him to be in front of the camera more. I've seen him in commercials recently and stuff. He's definitely rising in popularity, and this show's going to help with that, and hopefully we're going to see him in a lot more stuff. And he definitely brings storybook quality to this show. Neil Patrick Harris as Count Olaf. This was a choice I wasn't really sure of at first. I was like, wow. And he actually, if you listen in, he is the one singing the intro of the show, and probably one of my favorite things about the show that the movie missed out on so much is it warns the viewers, which I just remember this in the book. It's like, look away, don't watch this. There's so many other better things you could be watching than this show because nothing good is going to come of watching this. Just bad things happen in this show, and that's pretty much the narrative that's carried over. Obviously, because this is a mini-series, they have a lot more time to delve into stuff and dig into the deep nooks and crannies of the books, which a movie is definitely not going to have the chance to do. Honestly, I think that's a fantastic idea. I want to see more mini-series do this, you know? Imagine if they'd made a Harry Potter mini-series as opposed to movies, how much more they could dig into it, or Lord of the Rings miniseries. Just saying. I mean, I don't want to see that stuff redone, but stuff like that, iconic literature, turn into a miniseries to where they can actually explore almost every facet would be awesome. Marlena Weissman as Violet, I really like the choice. I love the choice of all the orphans. I mean, Sunny, how can you get it wrong? But the infant they chose was really great. And I love that they have the little text that pops up. You know, she actually gets to talk, you know? She actually gets to be who she was in the books. She's mentally almost on the same level as her older siblings, and I always thought that was so interesting. But Violet does a great job. Lewis Hines as Klaus, perfect choice. Perfect casting almost all around in the show. I love Asif Mandavi as Uncle Monty. I thought he was a fantastic choice. K. Todd Freeman as Mr. Poe was also a fantastic choice. And one thing they really nailed down is his character coughs a lot and is incredibly stupid in the books. They really capitalize on that. I don't remember if they did in the movies or not, but they couldn't have picked a better actor to play it, and I just think he does such a great job. And oh my gosh, I was so surprised to see Joan Cusack in this show playing Justice Strauss. She does such a fantastic job. Kudos to her. It's good to see her again. Aside from playing the voice of Jessie, I don't really know what she's done lately. So overall, I've had a really great experience watching the show. Let's get into the bad. You know, and there's not really a whole lot bad I have to say about this show. I will say a few of the special effects they don't look real at times. The show is almost surreal to a fault. You know, it's surreal to the point of almost going, you know, you're almost like, wow, that actually looks kind of fake. You know, I mean, I don't know how bad that necessarily is, because they do want to separate themselves from reality, because this is definitely an alternate type of reality this show is in, especially because at the beginning you almost have the perception that it's set in the 40s. Like, this is a 1940s piece or something, and then they start using things like cell phones, they start talking about streaming and apps, and you're like, oh, you know, they break the fourth wall a lot, which I really do like, but you're like, well, okay, so it's not the 40s, it's really, you know, it's kind of contemporary, so, you know, little inconsistencies there. Like I said, I really love Neil Patrick Harris as Count Olaf. Towards the beginning, I wasn't sure, because he is almost too comedic. He's almost too Neil Patrick Harris. Like, I could totally tell that's him underneath all the makeup and everything. I'm like, that's Neil Patrick Harris. Later on in the show, I feel like you start to see how evil Count Olaf really is, but towards the beginning, I don't really know. There's just a lot of comedic scenes. There's even this scene where he comes and singing a song, and I love that scene. I was busting out laughing, but I almost thought to myself, should I be laughing? Like, you know, I don't know. I remember when my teacher was reading these books to us, I was just picturing Count Olaf in my head, and it was nothing like Jim Carrey or Neil Patrick Harris. He was very evil. There was nothing funny really about him. But I really do, I like his portrayal. I like it more than Jim Carrey's. I'm definitely going to say that. I think he does a great thing. And he focuses more on the fact that Count Olaf thinks he's a great actor. And he's terrible. He's just terrible. And there's just so many points that he has that are great. It's just, there's certain points when I felt like he's being a little too comedic. And as far as they delve into stuff, there is stuff that's cut out. Like I said, I'm not going to spoil anything, but I will say this. For those of you who are looking forward to a certain sword fight that Sunny is going to have, yes, that's right, the infant in a sword fight, if you haven't read the books, you might be disappointed. You know, I was surprised by a few of the things that they cut out, and they do change some stuff. You know, like I said, I really do love Uncle Monty in the show, but he's vastly different than he was in the books. However, I can't fault it too much because the original writer of the books is writing the screenplays, so if he wants to change some stuff, I'd say that's okay. There's also this focus on a secret organization working behind in the background that I don't really remember from the books. Maybe if you read the books all the way through, it's hinted at, but I genuinely thought everybody they stayed with was relatives, and they may or may not be. However, there is some sort of secret organization working around in the background, almost cloak and dagger like, and let me tell you guys, this show has a fantastic twist. I know I'm supposed to be talking about the bad stuff, but wow, I forgot to mention that. This show has a great twist. If you're looking forward to a show with a twist, get ready for this one. And now let's get to the ugly. The only thing ugly I can think about in this show is physically ugly. Oh my gosh, these nasty twins that work for Count Olaf. And it's not really a negative of the show, they're just ugly. Actually, I want to use this opportunity to talk about his henchmen. I really think his henchmen are just great in this. They're just a great aspect of the show. The guy with the hook hands, the bald man. Oh my gosh, this one guy, I can't remember what his name was in the book. I think it was like the Man of Mystery or something, where he's just like sputtering out facts all the time and like questioning what they're doing and stuff. So funny. But anyway, guys, I want to know what you think down in the comment box below. Have you watched the show? You think about watching it? Are you going to watch it based on this recommendation? Let me know. So this Monday, I am going to give A Series of Unfortunate Events a 9 out of 10. I think it's just a phenomenal show. And like I said, just let me know what you think of it down in the comment box below. And if you like today's video, well, you know what you can do. You can go ahead and hit that like button. That's pretty much what you do when you like a video. If you're new around here, if you haven't already, don't forget to blast that subscribe button. And if you want to know every time I upload a video, all you have to do is ring that bell down there, and you'll know. Guys, as always, thank you so much for watching. Stay awesome, stay beautiful, keep those Punisher hats on, and I'll see you later.